Welcome to the NLP Talks Podcast, bringing you inspirational stories along with a good dose of potentially life-changing NLP strategies. I'm Laura Evans, multi-award-winning NLP trainer, and I'm on a mission to help you unleash your potential in business and life. I'm so glad you're here. Pull up a chair, listen in, and let's get started on revealing more about this transformational NLP toolkit. How you doing? I hope you're really well. Thank you so much for tuning in to the NLP Talks podcast. I'm super excited that you're here with me today because I'm about to reveal the details of Series 6 of the podcast. Now, if you've been a follower of this podcast since the beginning, you'll know that we've been doing this for several years now, and we've got over 50 episodes. We've been recognised by a couple of different providers for being the leading NLP podcast. And if you follow me personally on social media, you'll know that just this last week, we've now been recognised as the UK's leading NLP training provider. And we're super chuffed that all our hard work has been recognised. And that's not least down to the wonderful testimonials that all of our students have given us over the years. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. What you'll know is that I love the podcast and I love sharing the stories of our students that we train. It is always insightful for me. I always learn more about how they're using the tools I share with them, and Series 6 is going to be no different. We are, however, going to mix it up a bit. So as usual, I will have a group of wonderful students who are going to meet with you and me and share their story. And I'm going to give you some sneak insights into what's coming up. I'm also going to invite back some of our previous guests. I thought this would be really cool to do for Series 6 because some of you may be out there thinking, well, maybe these people are just talking and raving about how great NLP is, but, does it really last? Well, I'm going to answer that question for you in Series 6 because I'm going to get some of them back for some just short update episodes, which I'm super excited to do. I will also do some deeper dive sessions as well. So I've already got one that I'm planning about how to get yourself in the best possible place to increase your income. No matter where around the world you're listening to this podcast, I'm guessing you're probably thinking about getting a promotion or going for a job to increase your salary. Or maybe looking at ways that you can trade your business through these uncertain times. So that's the first one. But as always, as you know, if you're a listener of this podcast regularly, those deep dive sessions are guided by you. So if there is a topic that you would like me to do a deep dive session on, they're usually about an hour to an hour and a half. So they're really, really in depth. If I can help you with something, then please reach out and let me know. As you'll know, you can do that by dropping us an email at info@unleashyourpotential.org.uk, and I can build that into the plan. So, what is going to be in store on Series 6? Well, today I'm going to release the names of some of my forthcoming guests and a little insight into some of the things that I know they're going to share with you. Now, first up is going to be the lovely Sian Fisher. So Sian joined me on the courses. She started her journey some time ago now. And over the years, she has transformed herself. So she runs a personal styling business. She is my personal stylist. And I really want her to have an opportunity to share with you the difference that changing her mindset has made for her. It's made a difference in terms of how she puts herself out there, her level of visibility. And she's going to share some little gems with you around how she's used it to build her confidence in her business and some other things which I'm not going to share just yet. Then we've got the wonderful Phil Hanlon. Now, Phil is a massive, massive Tony Robbins fan and has been into personal development for many, many years. And Tony Robbins is kind of one of the guiding lights, if you like, in the personal development industry. And I'm invited Phil to come on to share with you how doing an NLP course with me has built on his personal development and all the experience he'd got. Phil's crewed at a bunch of Tony Robbins events over the years. But NLP added just something extra special to him and to the way that he leads his life now. And of course, has set up a coaching business, and he's going to tell you a little bit about that. Now, my third guest who is going to be coming on is the wonderful Kelly Liddell. Now, Kelly, when she first came on my courses, had dreamt and visualized that one day she would feature on the very podcast that had introduced her to NLP. And when we chatted about her coming on the show, she was absolutely made up, because she was like, oh my goodness, it was my dream to be on this podcast with you. And do you really want me? And I was like, yes, I do. The transformation in Kelly in her learning and development career has been phenomenal. I was really lucky to have a couple of her colleagues come on some courses later on, and they couldn't believe the difference in her. So she's going to share her story with you about how NLP really has helped her. Now, we've also got the lovely Jodie Bennett. Now, Jodie is an HR director, and Jodie's going to come and talk about the difference that NLP made for her. So when she joined me on the courses, she was in the middle of being made redundant. And I think I'll let her tell you her story, but let's just say that she has gone on leaps and bounds personally because of the transformation. Now, it's a similar story with my next guest on the show, which is going to be Leslie White. Now, Leslie is an accountant by trade, and she's not your typical boring accountant either. Sorry, no offense to any accountants that listen to the show. But the transformation in Leslie has just been phenomenal. She's going to tell you all about what happened at an audit meeting she was at when her friend almost apologized for Leslie. And Leslie was like, not anymore, because Leslie now really held her home. So she's going to talk about that. Natasha Williams is coming on the show. Now, Natasha has created a technique called the Karma Baby technique, all based on Natasha's experience as a parent and grandparent herself and her NLP knowledge. So I want her to come on and really share the difference it's made for her. She's been through some life transitions as well and some transformation. So she's going to share all of that stuff with you. So those of you that have got children, you're going to love that episode. And we've also got the lovely Laura Bryan. Now, Laura is a nutritionist by trade and is in the middle of doing her courses with me as well. And she's got some fascinating insights into the mind-body connection, which we talk about in NLP. But she comes at it from what they call the gut-brain axis and a different perspective of how she uses nutrition to help people improve their mind and their mindset. Whereas, of course, I would go, well, actually, let's use the mind to help improve their health. It's a fascinating discussion to have with Laura about the mind-body connection and the difference that gut health can make on your mindset. So I thought that'd be a fascinating episode. So as you can see, we already have a whole host of amazing guests lined up. There are one or two more that are not yet confirmed. And I'm going to keep under wraps those guests which are coming back. There'll be nice surprises for you when they come. So what to do? Well, between now and the official launch of Series 6 on the 5th of October, now is the ideal opportunity for you to go back and catch up on any episodes that you've missed from Series 1 through 5. You'll remember that a lot of them are interviews, but also Series 2, I think if you've not heard that, I'd highly recommend you listen to that, because I went through many of the main NLP practitioner topics and started to help you understand more about the tools that all my wonderful guests talk about. So here's what I'd suggest you do over the next couple of weeks. Make sure that you subscribe to this podcast on whatever platform you usually hear from me on. Make sure that you set the notifications to ensure that you hear when we release the episodes. Now, if you're a regular follower of the podcast, you'll know that there is also the opportunity for you to join me on what we call the pre-release. I record all the episodes live and we live stream them onto YouTube and into our NLP Talks Facebook community. I'll put the links below this episode in the description so that you can find them. And I'm going to be starting to record those episodes, starting with Sean on Tuesday, the 20th of September. In fact, over the next 2 weeks, there's going to be 3 live episodes. Or, of course, you could wait until we do the official release and then you'll get the notification here on your platform of choice. So it's been wonderful to talk to you today, and I'm really super excited to be getting back into Series 6 and sharing more wonderful things about the world of NLP and what it can do for you, like it's done for me and all of the awesome guests which I've had on this show. So take good care of you, and I will see you back here in a few weeks' time when we release episode 1 of Series 6.